Hey everybody, it's Josh, aka Sorcerer's Hat. I'm once again joined by my good friend Kevin.
Hey, I'm Kevin. By no means what I'm about to say is what I just love the game. I'm not gonna say anything I say is correct or right, but yeah, it's just from my experience and just loving the game.
I mean, I can
Excited
second
to.
that. We play the game a lot,
Yeah.
but even then, sometimes I say stuff and then I feel like, is that right though? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, yeah, we're gonna look at these lists. We're gonna question some choices. May not be what we would do, but maybe that's why they're in top 8. And we are
yeah.
not.
Some of it's
We didn't go to
play
Atlanta.
style. Also didn't go there, yeah. We're gonna talk about. Sorry, I got like a random little error. It's fine. It has nothing to do with any of this. We're gonna talk about the CCQ, the CCS, Charlie's Collectible Show, CCQ, that happened like a week ago, I want to say. It kind of happened in a weird time, and we're getting in the holidays, so it took a few days for us to get together to talk about this. But it was about 333 players. We're gonna do probably just the top 8 decks, just talk about them and talk about how it might affect the meta, all that stuff, because there is actually some spicy stuff in here. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. This I guess we'll, let's just jump right in. Let's jump right into the first list. This Zan Syed, famous. I like how you got the gloves on.
Dude, it is so cold.
It's cold. It's cold. It's really cold right now. This event was won by Zan Syed, bringing back a deck from actually that existed kind of in the Jafar meta a little bit. This is an Amber Amethyst deck. It's the what do you even call this deck? It's just Monstro Loop, right? Or Monstro Infinite or something.
I always think of it like Moyen's combo. But was Moyen even the first one to?
I don't know. I don't think Moyen was. I just think he had a version because he was playing it.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a meme deck for Moyen, but the location. Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No, you're good.
What were you saying? Yeah, I was
saying I think most people just call this the Monstro combo deck. They don't. There's not really like a cute name for it like we give to everything else.
Yeah, and so for those of you who don't know, the combo before Whispers in the Wild set 10 was Monstro with Donald Duck, because Donald Duck allows you to exert a character and draw a card, where Monstro, you can discard a card to ready Monstro. And so you're not necessarily questing, you're not necessarily challenging. The fact that you can ready him is what makes the combo, and you're looking for the final piece, which is the song in Amethyst, We Know the Way. And now with set 10, the Great Illuminary location makes it so that it's the same effect from Donald, but it only costs 2, and it only costs 1 to move a location there. So still the biggest, most expensive thing would be Monstro, no longer another 8 cost character, which Donald Duck cost 8. And you can cheat it out with Lantern, you can cheat it out with Circle of Life. It just makes the combo more consistent. But yeah, back to you, Josh.
Yeah. It's like I had played against this deck like in the Jafar meta, and I always found it a little infuriating. A lot of times you could tell like the person playing it just kind of didn't know the lines really. And so like you could kind of take advantage of that, but then there were people that did know the lines. I actually think that this deck is probably really hard to play. Like I play correctly, like to get the combo to go off. Like it's a deck you have to actually like invest in and practice with. I don't think you can just like pick this up, to be honest. Like I think you could pick it up and probably win a few games at locals not doing the combo, just by using like Hades and Demona and the elephant and stuff, and then just like having a Monstro wipe their board or something. You probably do okay, but if you're trying to do the full like Donald Duck Monstro combo. This deck's super hard. Like once you do it, it is sort of like you just win. Like once you do it. But
Yeah.
and I used to play there were some when I used to play back in Magic, there were some decks that I played that had like infinite, like once you did it, you just won, where it was like you had a card out that was like every time you lose, your opponent loses health, you gain health, and then you had another card that was like every time you gain health, your opponent loses health. So then all you had to do was do you'd put them both out and you do 1 damage, and then it
Yep.
would stack infinitely and you just won. So like
Yeah, and then like
yeah.
a Johnny's Pride, something like that.
There was stuff like that, yeah. It was, and you could just like you're like all I have to do is get like a 1/1 through and I win, right? So it was like a mono black like vampire deck for all the Magic people out there.
Oh, never mind
Yeah.
it.
It was so cheesy. It was like oh, it was I think it was black and white. Either way, you know, these kinds of things exist in other card games. I think it's really interesting that this popped up. I think if you're a newer player and you're like, wow, I want to play this, I think you probably should maybe not. If you're an experienced card game player, have you played it?
Yeah. No, but it's I've seen people play it and it's just you're just watching them trying to put the puzzle pieces together, and if they do, then it's wild. If they don't, then it's like, well, you
Yeah.
didn't get the combo.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, look,
yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like you could probably aggro this deck out pretty
Yeah.
easily. You know, if you're just on Amber Steel aggro, you just go.
The lantern and the Huey help because it's kind of ramp, like pseudo ramp in here, just
it's
to
like
help
yeah.
get the Monstro.
I think like people sleep on Lantern. I think Lantern is still like a really amazing card because especially if you're playing like I guess in like Hearthstone and stuff we would call it a zoo deck where it's like very character heavy. A card like Lantern is like incredible because it just helps you. Like back when I was playing Amber Ruby in like set 4 or 5, I had lanterns in my deck, and my favorite play was like Daisy on 1, Lantern on 2, play a Daisy for free. It was felt so good. And then after that, you're just like, okay, now I can play a 4-drop on turn 3. You know,
hell yeah,
it was awesome. So yeah, I definitely think if you want to give this deck a shot, go for it. But I think that there is a pretty good chance that people target this. I think it like Blurple's probably pretty good into this, and like Aggro's probably pretty good into this. I've heard that mostly this takes advantage of like Amethyst Steel. So maybe I have a personal like personal stakes in having people not play this deck because I don't want to run into it, but you know.
And it is like Amethyst Steel is still week after week the most popular, and I mean it came in second to this.
It made it had a few here in the top 8, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
like, it's not going
it's interesting.
anywhere, but,
yeah. Alan Adale is part of the combo, but I mean there's a lot of pieces now that it seems like you can pull the combo off in a variety of ways. But also the one of Alan Adale like raised an eyebrow at first, but then when I saw the Circle of Life, I'm like, oh, okay, so Circle of Life either gets the Alan Adale back or you get your Monstro back for free, and you can sing it
or out early.
You know. Yep.
I think like the one because so there is the Donald with Monstro thing that you can do, right? But I think the other part of like the reason you have We Know the Way is like you can empty the deck completely, and then once you do that, you just have Monstro sing We Know the Way, and like I think you can like loop it somehow. There's a way to loop it. Like you can have him sing We Know the Way. You put We Know the Way back in the deck. It's the only card, so you draw it again. But then you do need a way to ready like a character. So I don't know. Like I think maybe you just get a bunch of characters out and you just have them keep singing We Know the Way. And if you have Alan out, you just get a lore every time. So then you just We Know the Way, it goes back into the deck, and then it's like, what card am I drawing? Well, it's We Know the Way, 'cause it's the only card, so I get to draw it. So then you just do it again. You keep doing it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a sort of a backup, like in case you don't do the other one. But
Basically, it still has the Amethyst package of like the good Amethyst cards, and then you're drawing a bunch, so Royal Guard makes sense too. But yeah, if anyone wants to know like in detail the granularity of how this combo goes off, I'm sure there's a bunch of posts
I
and
do
like
want
just
to.
breaking it down.
Yeah, I do want to have like a testing session where somebody builds this and we try to.
There's a few
around with
people
it.
that run this, but yeah, it's
I don't really want to do
it's 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 mixed results, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, there's I think there's too many things in the meta already that kind of shuts this down. So, I mean, Zan's a great player. He
That's the other thing. It's like,
understands the thing, yeah. So you have to have a good pilot for this. And I did run into this at least once or twice during set champs when the Donald first got released. And yeah, I mean, it seemed, I want to say like 50-50. Like, yeah, sometimes it got the combo off, sometimes didn't, and just scooped and went on to the next.
yeah, it's like they just keep drawing
Yeah.
and they're not seeing what they need
Yeah,
to see,
and then with
and you're just like, okay, cool.
yeah, and like you said with the Amethyst Steel, any blue deck this encounters, I think there's too many like ramp base removal, as in like sudden chill, or no, sudden scare, a spooky sight, and
Yeah.
Hades are the classic ones, right? Hades, just every blue deck is running Hades unless you're lower to the ground. And yeah, all of that. But once they see this is what you're trying to do, your characters aren't sticking, and they're gonna go into your inkwell. So Circle of Life still doesn't get it back. You can't get the recursion, and you're kind of dead out of the water if you kind of face
Yeah.
a blue deck that knows what you're up to.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's like an aspect of Amber we haven't seen other than like Circle of Life and Lady. We haven't really seen a lot more of the like recur from the discard pile kind of stuff that it's known for. Because like you think back to set 1, we had Hades, like Lord of the Underworld or something like that. I think that was the card where it was like get a card back
the
from
Amber
your
one?
discard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Hades loops. Get nostalgic
And the
about
song.
Hades loops. Yeah.
The Little Mermaid song. What was it?
Part of your world?
Oh yeah, yeah.
that it?
Part of your
Yeah.
world, same effect. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Was there a limitation on that? Was it like 3 costs or
I don't
less, or
remember.
no?
I don't
remember
remember.
either.
It might have been something like that, yeah.
If you remember, comment below.
Yeah. All right. Well,
And the Elsa into the unknown, singing.
oh yeah.
Yep. Anyway, next.
We'll go to the next. We'll go to the next deck. We're gonna, and this is a deck that I've played like, I've been playing for, I want to say like a month straight now. I have almost 100 games. Actually, I have. So we're talking about Amethyst Steel. I have like almost 100 best of 3s, and I had like 100 something best of 1s on this deck so far. And like I think that Amethyst Steel is really strong, but it is also like you can just brick, which kind of sucks, but I mean whatever. I feel like every deck can kind of break, but it does reward if you know the matchups really well and you're like on top of what your opponent's doing. Like it does reward that really well, and you do get into these really nice situations where you're like, doesn't even matter if they wipe my whole board next turn, I win because I've got Cobra in hand or something, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
this deck's by Jonathan Williams. This one is actually kind of interesting because it's like a little bit of a hybrid between the more like faster versions of the deck, which is like more what I play, where it's the only removal is really strength, like strength of a raging fire, and then it's just very much about like 4 Dux, 4 Demona, just be like bam bam bam, like play characters, right? Like the idea is you just want to like
toolboxy.
yeah, you this is a little more like Frank Karsten at Milwaukee, where it's like we do a little a little bit of everything. Like it has a lot of the stuff. Like it still has Timothy Q Mouse in it. It's got the White Rose for a little bit of burn. It's got Lexington for a little bit of the like control against other Amethyst decks. Only
Yeah.
3 Hades. Iago is something that I have not seen much in Amethyst right now, other than Blurple. And
Amethyst Steel.
I
Oh,
I
I see.
really
Yeah.
wish I could fit Iago into my deck, but I'm just like, what would I even take out? Like I have
Yeah.
no idea. So maybe I have to just take one of a lot of things and just put Iago in or something. But it feels wrong, you know.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this list is it's only running 2 Demona and 3 Doc, which I think the 3 Doc is perfectly valid, because just you don't want to. It just lowers your chances that much more of not doubling up on them. And then 2 Demona I think is perfectly fine. Thunderbolt. Every time I try to put it in the deck, I'm like very underwhelmed by Thunderbolt. I
I
feel
knew
like
you were
it,
gonna
huh?
say something about that.
Yeah, it feel like it's better in blue steel for sure, because you're playing it on the same turn that I'm playing strength, so it feels more like, you ramped and you have a 4-drop and they're gonna sing their song on turn 4, which is gonna be Thunderbolt, right? So you get that benefit of doing more damage on turn 3 than someone else. But in purple steel, it feels kind of awkward because you're either spending your 4th turn just playing Thunderbolt or playing your 4-drop and then praying that they don't get eliminated so that you can sing Thunderbolt on turn 5. And a lot of times that just doesn't feel good, and because if they do that, suddenly you just have this card in your hand that you're like, well, what do I do with it, right? Do I spend my entire turn blasting something of theirs and probably not taking it out, because there's a lot of, like, you don't want to just shoot this at anything. You want to hit a really valid target. Like you want to hit a Cheshire Cat or a Genie or something else, you know.
Like
Um,
the Thunderbolt would be if you're on the play, Lexington if you're on the draw.
but even
Uh,
that, yeah, Lexington, but you have to be so careful with singing with Lexington because you have to make sure you don't have too many cards. Lexington
Yep.
worked well. Lexington, actually, no, Lexington can't sing it because it's a
Mm.
3-drop.
He's a 4/4, but
Yeah,
only 3 plus.
so like Lexington's usually singing strength, but and if you've done it right, you should only have like 2-ish cards left because Lexington's eating the strength to get rid of it, so he'll actually ready the next turn. Like that's the play. But Thunderbolt, yeah, I'm not super into it in Amethyst Steel just because it feels really awkward, and you don't have singers, right? Like in Amber Steel, it's fine because you have singers that can do this, right? You have like um, Troubadour and you have Ursula, but um, yeah, that's like my one disagreement with this is just I don't agree on that. And my other one is they're only running 10 1-drops, which feels a little low. It's not too low, but it's like I'm usually running 12.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of like I would keep running 12. I think 11 would be fine if you just like I really got to fit this other thing in. It's probably fine. But running 12 feels good just because you have way more easy ink later in the game, but you also have the ability if you like get a Demona down and you can draw a bunch of cards and suddenly you can be like bam bam bam, you have 4 characters all of a sudden on the board, right? Um so but yeah, I mean, congrats Jonathan Williams. It's kind of unfortunate you had to run into Zan on that deck for the finals. But
Hopefully Zan didn't push you to play faster.
yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
geez. But
it's a good deck.
so going back to what you said about having Cobra in hand, like
Yeah.
you kind of get to 18 or whatever, and you just need that extra reach. Um, I would say for those of you getting ready for like the DLC or I think what Orlando is coming up too.
There's an
Um,
Orlando, yeah, like CCQ. There's like
yeah.
3 or so. There's well, we have Arizona now in January. We have and then Orlando.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
know
think Portland is one, but I don't remember.
Portland will have what is it called? I just went to it. It's the same thing that happened in Vegas. Like the SSG.
SSG. So so it is a CCQ.
Yeah, I think so, but that's not until after Richmond, I believe. Um,
It's sometime in January. Yeah, and then in
yeah,
January there's Richmond DLC. So
yeah,
January's
and
kind of and set champs. So January's pretty
yeah.
packed.
But what I wanted to say about the Cobra is, I know pros do it where they kind of just reveal like, hey, we can go. They they kind of just like somehow express that they have a Cobra in hand
Yeah.
with the and whatever, even if it's the only card in hand, you're gonna draw a card, and so you can just discard that, get the 2, right? But I was put in an awkward situation before where I want to say like not a newer player because they knew about Cobra and stuff like that, or at least they knew about Cobra. But they it was like an awkward situation where they're like, "Do you have Cobra in hand?" or something like that, and like I just didn't respond because I didn't have
don't.
it or something, and I didn't want to reveal like, well, this is awkward because I don't. If I say yes, then they would scoop, but that's lying.
But they
I
might
don't lie.
not.
Yeah, but
You know.
they might. Yeah, correct, right? But then if I say no, then I'm just
But
revealing. No, I don't have a Cobra, and I didn't want to say anything.
yeah, but
And
it's like
and who's to say I won't draw a Cobra off the top too,
yeah.
right?
But
Yeah.
also who's to say they don't have some way to disrupt that, right? Like if they're playing a
Correct.
discard deck and they go, "Oh,
Yeah.
well if you have this, I'll
So
just quit."
exactly,
And then you tell them and then they go, "Oh, okay, sudden chill twice."
exactly,
You know what I
right?
mean?
So I
It's
just wanted to do like a PSA to be like, that
do
just
not do not
don't do that. Don't
if
ask for like hidden information,
if
right?
you have a
Yeah.
Cobra and you're about to win,
Just be patient.
just you can
Just
be patient.
the turn is almost over.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
turn's almost over.
Unless they're taking like 10 minutes and then just do the normal thing, call judge and say, hey, players taking
Yeah.
their time kind of thing. But anyway,
I
yeah,
have been in that situation before too, where somebody was literally I was playing red blue and somebody was like, "Do you have pirates right now? Because if you have pirates life, I'll just scoop right now." And I thought about it for a second, and then I went, "I don't feel like I should answer that." I did, but I was like, I was like, I don't feel
yeah,
like I
right.
should answer that. And then he went, okay, fair enough, because I think he realized like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I probably
yeah,
shouldn't be asking that. And then that pork us next turn, I was just like, pirates, and I win.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but you don't need to
mhm,
answer those kinds of questions.
yeah. And I
Um,
mean, again, I know pros do it all the time. I've been in situations where, yeah, I don't know.
you and
It's like
I
read the room kind of
had
thing.
that situation in locals of like a few weeks ago where you were on blue steel and I was on purple steel and I had a board and I had exerted like everything because I
Oh
was
yeah,
about to win. And I was at
yeah.
18, I had Cobra and like something else in hand and I'm just waiting and you were like doing all this math. And you're like, "Oh, if I do this and then I sing this, I can do this." And like after about 2 minutes, I was like, "I think we should just move on." So I literally went, "Can I tell you something?" And you went, you have Cobra," and I like showed it, and then you're like, "All right, never mind." It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was just like, we
Yeah,
gotta keep moving. So like,
and that was
but
like practice too. Like that
yeah,
one, we're not in like a competitive
it's
situation. But
it's
it's
locals,
funny,
it's
like
different.
the opposite, because we is it? Oh, it wasn't the same day, but we've
Yeah,
traded decks, and
yeah,
you just saw like the gears turning in my mind, where I was also doing the math, and I was like, is it time to go sideways? Do I do this? I was like, shoot, do I lose? Because I think you were at like 18 or 19, and then in my mind, I was like, oh, I can only get to like 19 or something. But then, so it was like two things. I was like, well, I have this. Oh,
you had
Cobra only
Calhoun.
got me to 19,
Yeah,
but it's because of Calhoun. I was like, wait a second, you're sideways. I can just, I
yeah,
can Calhoun and get to 20. But
yep,
yeah, anyway, those are fun times.
yeah.
Back to this deck though. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of really spread out. But I mean, the results show that, you know, at a 333 player, this toolbox, it performed. And so it's results of a good pilot. I was trying to look up while you were talking on Ravensburger Playhub if they released a way to see the matchups yet. I actually haven't had time to like kind of explore that. Uh, I know they fairly recently, they have like that My Events tab, which is so handy to
Yeah.
find what you signed up for or bookmarked. But yeah, the it looks like, you know, the valuable cards are definitely four ofs, and then the three ofs. I am a fan of three ofs, uh, because the matchup spread is so wide, ever since Fabled, and so it kind of pairs you for,
And it got wider.
um, yeah,
Like just
kind
this
of, yeah,
weekend. Yeah.
yeah. But he's still, they're still keeping a low uninkable count. So
Yeah.
even if they replaced Thunderbolt with something else, I don't know what. Maybe just pump up the levers on what this person felt like they really ran into. Like personally, I think maybe I would want 4 docks. For me, docks are personally it's either 4 or 1 if I'm gonna run them at all.
Yeah.
100% chance you're not gonna have multiple docks in your thing, and it's also, but 1 sort of feels like a win more. Like if you do 1, then you probably have another draw engine or at least filter.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, 3. The reason why I'm a fan of 3 ofs is this meta and Fabled, we're usually only seeing like the top 20 to 30 cards, and so it kind of helps. Like 3, kind of, you're at least going to see 1, most likely. And if that's like you have to at least see 1 to win, then
Yeah.
yeah, 3 of is good. 4s, if that's like definitely part of your game plan, you always need to see it. 4s, and then 2s help like in certain matchups. The 1 ofs need to make an impact. So I think, yeah, I mean, obviously the 1 of Mim was enough to, and that looks like the only 1 of. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you don't actually need to
Mim,
play that on 2,
Mim's
yeah,
mostly good in certain matchups, and I tend not to play her on 2. If I'm playing her on turn 2, something has gone horribly wrong with the
yeah, I think
altar, you know?
the a good play I've seen, I guess, is if you don't have a 2, probably.
Well, I
And
would
if you
play her
have a
if I
hook,
didn't have one, but yeah.
yeah. If you have a hook and you're in a mirror and they play Palace Guard, and I guess you would have to be on the play, and so they quest with their Palace Guard for some reason, you could take it out with Madam Mim and Hook on 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you would want to, but that's something you could do. Just to, now you have the board, I guess. But
It's
yeah,
good
I
at
don't know if.
like a daisy if they have a daisy.
Ooh, that's better. That's better than
Like
taking out the Palace Guard.
you know,
Yeah.
because normally you're like, oh, okay, they play daisy, they play hook, and then you're
Yeah.
like, well, I'm probably fine.
Yeah.
I can, you know,
And then
quest,
surprise,
but then
Madam
you're
Mim.
like, surprise, Madam Mim, and then Hook takes out
Yeah.
Daisy, and then suddenly you're
I
like
guess
way ahead. But that's what I mostly
Ruby.
use her for, is like if they exert something and it's like 4 willpower and I've got Calhoun ready to go and I've got the Mim, and like suddenly I can take
Yeah,
whatever
heck
that
yeah.
is. I can be like Mim and then Calhoun, I get lore and stuff. So yeah. But anyway, let's move on to the top 4 now, because there's a sapphire or an emerald sapphire deck in here that I am like baffled by.
Okay, sweet.
Because
Yeah.
and this is by Daniel Keegan's, and they have no Tipo in this deck, and I couldn't
Yeah,
tell
I
if
saw that.
if it was incorrect, but they're running against
That's a lot
all
lower.
odds. Yeah, they're running 4 copies of Sail and then 3 copies of One Jump Ahead, but no copies of Tipo. And I'm like,
Mhm.
is this person just brave? Is Daniel just brave, or is there a reason? Because I'm like, you're making your ramp math so much worse, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm
And
a little baffled
no
by
one or
it.
two drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they
Alice,
visioning on 2 to find?
if you're
No, you have
doing
to
that,
ramp on 2.
if you're doing that, that's terrible. But like the
Yeah.
thing with this deck though is it is running a lot of 3 drops. So maybe they're just like, I don't really care. Like if I don't ramp, I can play Alice or Philip, right?
Yeah.
2 characters that have ward, so they're gonna stick. Maybe that's the play. So they're just like, if I miss ramp,
Yeah.
it's whatever. Because then I'll have Cindy and I can ramp from there. And you know, I have like this deck was also running a lot of kind of spicy things like Heffalumps and Woozles. We've seen Heffalumps and
Can you hear me
Woozles.
still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My cat ripped my headphones at him. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
This deck is running some like kind of spicy stuff. Like we've got Night Howler Rage, which is chosen character gains Reckless, and you draw a card. We've got Heffalumps and Woozles, which is played quite like a fair amount, but it's like chosen opposing character can't quest during their next turn, also draw a card. And then
Both target the vanished characters.
Yeah, and then it's running Goofy as like a backup Alice. So it's like whenever this character quests, chosen character gains ward, and that Goofy also has ward and quests for 3. So this deck's actually like kind of spicy and seems pretty strong. I mean, they got to top 4 with it. So
yeah, I wonder, do you like this Goofy or the other Goofy? I think they're both 5 cost. I think I can look it up. But the other Goofy that says your Emerald characters gain ward. It's kind of like the Aura, but because then I faced it at like just a playtest experiment, and yeah, it kind of made Prince Philip untouchable until that Goofy was off the board.
But you can do it with this one too, right? So
yeah,
and it quests for 3. I think the main thing is that like you're giving something.
No, but this one is slower because the Goofy has to quest first to do the Prince Philip. Where I think if they were to,
but if you play Philip,
Goofy would have to be down first.
But if you play Philip, then you play Goofy. Both those characters have ward, and then on turn 6, you shift. You can like have Philip sing, shift him, wipe their board, and then you have Goofy quest and give Philip ward, and you get 3 lore and wipe their board. Suddenly I'm like, dude, this deck seems like kind of spicy actually. Also, it's not running any of the Clarabelle shift package. It's just running Clarabelle light on her hooves.
The Goofy I'm talking about, Goofy Emerald Champion, it's uninkable. It is 5 cost, but it's uninkable. Yeah.
Can't do it.
No. But yeah, whenever one of your Emerald characters is challenged and banished, banish challenging character.
I do think this is a really interesting like tweak on Emerald Sapphire that I kind of want to try out. I abandoned playing Emerald Sapphire like early on this set just because I was at like a solid 50% win rate with it, and to me I was like, that's not good enough. We gotta bump up those numbers here.
Yeah.
So
you know, the one jump Tipo would help you reduce the size of your hand so that when Clarabelle comes out, you get more value.
Yeah, but you're not shifting Clarabelle so early. So, and you have a lot of random stuff that helps you draw a card. Yeah, I think for that, like, I think for this deck, the altar phase is super important, and you have to like really know the different lines that you need to go. Because you need to hit everything.
Wow,
basically
a healthy 12 uninkable.
Yeah, it's not too greedy.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said it's not too greedy.
Yeah, Louis would be for the aggro decks to
Yeah.
kind of just stay and stabilize until you're able to do the fun things.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Night Howler and Heffalumps for Panish. But Night Howler, actually both of those songs are pretty good. They're like, I think it's better than the Della the Amber song for Vanish, because if it's not Vanish, their effects are not bad either.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about
and-
Night Howler too is like imagine you play a Louis, you have them reckless, and then whatever slams into Louis doesn't banish him. Then next turn you have
Yeah.
Louis sing Night Howler Rage, and it's like you make them do it again, right? And you replace it, so
2-4, yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, because what does this die to? Like aggro, right? So
Basically,
I guess the Louis and Night Howler help a lot with aggro.
I weirdly
and then like
find
stopping the quest, like now giving it reckless stops it from questing as well.
I've weirdly found that Emerald Sapphire is actually a lot better at dealing with aggro than like Red Blue is, in a weird way. Like with B prep, and I do wonder if part of that is just Cindy. Like if Red Blue had Cindy, which I think a lot of the new Infinity lists do, like would you get to B prep a lot faster? And I think you would, because a lot of Red Blue without Cindy, turn 4, it's like you're either trying to draw cards or you need to not play a character and you have to play like How Far I'll Go or something. And that would kind of be Cindy, but you know, it gets a little hard. With Cindy it's easier. You can do that, and then if she doesn't get eliminated, you have her do How Far I'll Go, and then you're like, oh, now I'm at 8, I'm fine. We can play Sisu now, you know.
Interesting.
But yeah, in this,
I don't know if it's better or worse. It definitely makes it
you need more
consistent.
You need more pieces for sure in Emerald Sapphire. But if you're cycling with, you know, cycling and stuff with Cindy, then you'll get there. All right, so then the next list in the top 4 was another Amethyst Steel deck. This is from Jonathan Lamb. I want to be Thiago, and man, oh wait, how many 1-drops is this? That's 11. Okay, for a second I thought it was only 7, and I was like, oh my god, this person is so courageous. Once again, only 3 dock, so I find that really interesting. This one only running 1 Iago, only 2 Hades, but a higher count of Demona, up to 3. Also running the Genie Dragon, which is good with Dumbo, and also just another 3/4. Like the stats are decent, you know. Also running Black Heron, which isn't bad, but I have seen a lot of people just use the SME instead, just because it can target evasive characters. Black Heron though works a lot better with Cheshire Cat, because it can take the 2 damage and then send the 2 damage back with Cheshire Cat. Only 1 Timothy Q Mouse. At that point I'm kind of like, why run it at all? You could run something else. You could run another Iago, right? Or something. Only 1 Thunderbolt, which I'm still like,
just in case.
I would be curious, like actually curious, did this Thunderbolt actually do work for you like this week? I mean, obviously they made top 4. I'm not trying to like diminish that, but I'm like, did the Thunderbolt actually come up a lot? Because I feel like if you're only going to run 1 of it, I'm like, you might as well not run it at all and just run another Iago or something, you know. 1 Iago seems low.
I want to see if the Thunderbolt, because like we still have a Hades here, we still have a deity, so I wonder if they actually made a good trade. Snipe, like maybe in the mirror, snipe a Genie, give the Hades a plus. Is it 2?
+2, Challenger 2,
+2. What would they take out? Cobra?
Anything,
that'd be a trade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've actually never seen anyone do like buff Hades with Thunderbolt, funny enough.
Yeah. I have in blue steel. It came up like one time where it was actually
It was like
valuable.
it's like Lilo with the alien thing, like in Mr. Arrow. It's like I did it once and I was like, wow, and then never did it again.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I mean, this deck seems pretty good. It seems a little more teched for the mirror because it's running like Hypnotic Strength to deal with Iagos, and then it's got Genie, which can really, if you plan on playing a Dumbo like that turn after, like you're really gonna hate that you played it because you're not gonna do anything with it. With that Genie sitting there. Yeah, overall, seems pretty good.
Yeah, either built for the mirror or built for Ruby Amethyst, because that's almost the mirror.
Yeah. And yeah, no, interestingly, I don't think there were any Ruby Amethysts in the top 4.
Oh yeah, it had its moment to shine in Vegas.
All right. Next up, we have the only Amber Emerald deck in the running, and it's a dogs deck running both Chromacon and Under the Sea. So I hate everything about it already.
Crazy.
Although, like you know, I play Amethyst Steel, so I'm technically like favored into this matchup as long as I get like Calhoun out. Then it's okay.
Man.
But playing her on the Chromacon is so annoying. I hate it so much.
Brave, uninkable hands, like. Oh.
Yeah. Let's. How many?
I guess the game plan is still the same.
6, 10, 11.
There's a lot of 1-drops.
There's 15 uninkables.
18.
Oh yeah, 18. Wow, that's a lot.
It tells you at the.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. I think.
That's a bit much. But I mean, they made top 8, so.
Well, they didn't make top 4. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
Still top 8 out of 333 people. It's a lot.
Is Bobby the only way you? Oh, I guess Bobby and Tramp you can discard. Oh, and Scrooge. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because people always kind of talk about how there's like 3 different versions of dogs. There's the Chromacon version, there's Sea Dogs, which is Under the Sea, and then there's Circle of Dogs, yes, Circle of Life. And this one is just like, what if I ran C and Chromacon, and it's like really
take
strong.
out one C and put in a Circle of Life, and you have the trifecta.
If people don't know how to play against Chromacon, it is devastating. Like I find it annoying because I have to, the minute one comes down, I have to completely change my entire game plan. Suddenly it's like I need to play more characters than you on the aggro deck, which is tough.
You think people then will start teching for item hate?
No, I don't think we're at that point yet, but
it's not just this, it's the green purple as well with the Amethyst Chromacon. Yeah, and that Inkcaster oh my cat.
I think
it's that Inkcaster, like every time you play 2 cards you can get a lore.
I think one of a item destruction character or thing is probably
it's
reasonable. Yeah. Which is partially why like as much as it pains Emerald Sapphire to have like all like 1-drops at all. I think the 1-drop Clarabelle can be really useful in certain situations where it's like, yeah, I have the ability to shift on 5 or 6 and then sing like You're Welcome and draw a bunch of cards. But also just now I lost my train of thought. But the point is
the item hate.
Items.
Clarabelle. Yeah.
Oh, I guess You're Welcome does target items and locations also. So that deck's probably okay. It's probably fine.
And then like Pluto and Steel decks, every time you play a Steel character, you can banish an item, right?
It's something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
or you
so
just play
that'll
Benja.
help out Amethyst Steel. But Benja's only one time.
Yeah.
But Benja quests for 2.
Yeah, he does quest for 2. I don't know if we're quite at that point, but I think this deck is strong, but it is kind of hard to play at times. And if you don't see the Chromacon, man, you might like hate everything because
Well, you can still win
you
without the
can.
Chromacon. But yeah, definitely you don't want to be stuck
I think
with any of the C's or the Chromacons in hand when you haven't gotten to Tramp yet.
you got me curious. Okay, so fun fact: I'm looking at my Amethyst Steel stats. My win rate against Amber Emerald is 100% across the board.
Oh, jeez. But were they playing both? The
I
Under the
think
Sea and
I've
Emerald.
played a bunch of different variants. It's 100%, and yeah, and it's just because.
But did you play Diego level 9001?
No, but because the thing that annoys me about the deck when I'm on Amethyst Steel is not that like I feel like they're gonna win, because clearly I'm pretty good at playing against it. The thing that annoys me is that it's like usually it's like I'm really favored in this matchup, and then they play Chromacon. It's like cool, a 5-minute game's now gonna take 12 minutes because like your ability to beat me has not like increased, like it's increased, but it's not enough for me who like kind of understands how to play around the Chromacon to make a difference. The only thing it's affecting is the amount of time it's going to take me to get there.
Yeah.
So I'm always just like, oh god, I got to deal with one of these. It's like I gotta
Yeah.
I gotta play more characters than you so that when you bounce stuff, I'm still ahead and keep going and keep going and like trade really smartly. And it's like this was supposed to be, like I'm only using 25% of my brain right now, but now I have to use like 100% of my brain, and it's like yeah. But
I've
yeah.
I've been on Blue Steel, and it seems like I've gotten lucky. So my stats are pretty similar to yours. But I definitely recognize I've gotten lucky because I think this should go under and be favored. But yeah, when Chromacon is out, I specifically I already have my ramp. I have what I need to do, and every character has an on-play ability. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Bounce my stuff. But I think one of my opponents in Vegas, he ended up taking the whole like we went to game 3 and he took it all. But something that was interesting, like I think the game I won, all he could do was bounce back his own Bobby to keep digging for answers.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't find it, and like because everything I had like he doesn't want to bounce a Tink, he doesn't want to bounce a Vincenzo, he doesn't want to bounce Hades or anything.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with dogs is like if you're playing against a deck with like Hades or something, you're like, well, I'm not gonna bounce that, or I'm not gonna bounce your Phillip.
Or just do it, exert your dominance.
Yeah,
They did. I did go against one that I don't know if they ran both Under the Sea and Chromacon. I can't remember, but I remember they had no other play except playing Under the Sea for a single Vincenzo, and I was like, okay, but it did bite him another turn because Vincenzo does quest far a lot, right? Yeah. But yeah, it's a very interesting deck. Circle of Life is also very interesting and fun to think about because like they're loading up their discard. Yeah, it is high rolly, but they're extending their hand. They're like, oh, I can use this Tramp later. I can use this Surfer Stitch later. I'll just it'll just hang out here in my discard. And if it's in discard, I can't Hades it, right? Until it comes out into play. And yeah, I faced a couple interesting lists like that, but I ended up taking it, but they were very, very close. Yeah, it's a fun matchup for sure.
Yeah. All right. Next in the top 8, we've got another Emerald Sapphire deck from Brandon Braxley, and this one is like very similar to the lists that I was playing back at the beginning of the set. The only difference is that it only is running one Hades, which I just like vehemently disagree with, and it's running Bend to My Will, which I understand why people run it. I hate this card. I still stand by the fact I think this card's bad. It
I think
just
the other one was running too, right? The
yeah, I still think that I remember when that card got revealed and everybody was like, "Oh no," and I'm like, "What do you mean, oh no?" It's like this card's lame. Like most of the time, it's discarding like 2 cards, and you're like, whatever. It's
Yeah.
only like it's really good into like Blurple when you see them draw like 12 cards and then they like do bend, and
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, well I guess I lose. But it's such a it's such a card that I feel like has such a bias around it where it's like, well, it's won me all these games, but then you don't think about all the games where you're like, this card's stuck in my hand, I can't do anything with it, and it sucks. It's like
The dream is you have Clarabelle down, something saying you're welcome, and they hopefully you aren't playing the mirror or another blue deck.
yeah.
So you have ramped, and yeah, this is playing the shift. So your Clarabelle is down early. It probably sang the you're welcome, and you can play whatever comes in your hand after the turn comes to your hand. That was phrased very awkwardly, but you can play whatever, and your opponent cannot. They
Yeah.
can ideally only play 1 card from their hand, so that the next turn you can play Bend to My Will. That is like the ideal situation, because then you can discard a whole bunch of cards, maybe like Bend 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I guess Ben 10 was when there was Diablo and you're just drawing every turn too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the ideal situation. But yeah, like you said, more often than not, when it's played, and it's on the other side of me, I only have like 2 or 3 cards in
Yeah.
hand, and
The other thing
But
about
it does put you into a
Yeah.
top deck mode, yeah.
Yeah.
But
The
that's
other
what this whole meta is anyway.
Yeah. The other thing about this deck is like it's a lot of copies of Mother Knows Best and not a lot of copies of Hades, and I'm kind of like I would rather just play Hades.
Yeah.
I understand the Mother
Unless
Knows Best. It goes well with the Clarabelle, and also it can like delay some things. But to me, I'm just like, man, I would just much rather just play Hades and just target stuff, right? Because
Man, just get rid of the bin and
Um,
go more Hades.
yeah, and then
Unless they
also
saw Ed doing the play Hades, sing Mother Knows Best on your own Hades to play Hades again. That was
yeah,
pretty baller.
there is
But so
that.
you can get the effect multiple times, but a one of you're really you're not consistently seeing it every game.
Yeah. John Silver, I think, is a great card, but I think it's a little underwhelming in this meta right now. And it's not just me saying that. I've heard a lot of people saying that. And I kind of feel it's like certain matchups I would play it and I'd be like, yeah, this feels good. And then other matchups, you're like, I don't know. Basil is pretty good if he manages to stick. I think the 4 health, though, on Basil does really hurt him. But if you're able to quest with Basil and like start discarding stuff after you start bouncing their stuff, then it's like pretty devastating. Like you pretty much win at that point.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think this deck's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Unless the Basil gets Hades or Sudden Scare.
Yeah.
The vision I guess helps. When I said like you're probably not gonna see the Hades consistently, then I saw the 4 of vision. That does help. You can dig when you need to in a bind.
Yeah.
And then I guess I wonder if they went down to 1 of Hades, because I wonder if in testing they play vision and they like put away 3 Hades. Was they only take 1 or something like that? That's happened.
Sure.
You have to keep a poker face. Yeah.
Um,
Thoughts on John Silver versus Louis in this meta?
I mean, I think John Silver's better, but
Yeah. You're skipping to 6 if you can 2-4-6 ramp, right?
I think the problem with this deck is like it does brick. But it's like if you get all the pieces it feels so powerful. Like you feel like you can just do all kinds of crazy stuff and your opponent just can't even play the game to like a significant, amount. They're just like stuck. So it has its moments. I do sort of disagree with the not that many Hades, but I mean, they got top 8, so what do I know?
That's how I feel. I'm like, what? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
well, results.
They got top 8. All right. Next, we've got Frisco Foz. I hope I'm saying their name right. Amethyst Steel deck. This is so it's 3 Amethyst Steel in the top 8. So it's pretty good. This deck is running 10 1-drops. It's once again on 3 Dock, and I'm like, dude, what do they know that I don't? I'm like, maybe I should be running 3 Dock. 3 Calhoun. Once again, actually. 1 of Timothy Q Mouse, which is like such an odd thing. It's the interesting thing about this deck though is that it's running 3 copies of Thunderbolt and 2 copies of Demona Betrayer of the Clan, which is the 4/6 for 4 with Challenger 2. That card is pretty strong, and it can just lock up a lot of matchups, like especially in the mirror. Like on 4, if they play that, if you play Genie and then they play that, like it's not going to take out Genie, but your other characters are like, well, I can't do anything. Like I have to just sit, and it can get a little frustrating. But this is more of what I would say the slower version of Amethyst Steel is, which I personally don't think is as good as the fast one. But the problem is that it does do better in the mirror against the fast one, because the fast version doesn't really have the tools to take care of a lot of the characters that this version plays, and it does a lot of the same stuff that the fast version does. The thing is, the fast version's a little bit better at like aggroing out other matchups, and this one is not as good at doing that because it's running things like Demona and Thunderbolt. Your hands can get a little clogged up and stuff, but overall, yeah, good deck. I am starting
to. This has a Q. It's so fast. It has 1.
It's so fast. You probably never see it though. That's the thing.
Timothy Chalamet, as one of our friends say.
Timothy Q. But yeah, congrats to you. And then we got one more, and it's a spicy one. So we've got
Dark Horse,
an Amethyst Emerald deck, which is like, I would say it's basically an aggro deck, like an aggro burn deck.
Wait, did both of these? They both said 8th at the. Did they like ID out? Because the last one didn't say 7th; it said 8th.
They all say top.
They both say 8th.
There's first, second, top 4, top 8, top 8, top 16.
Yeah, and when you click it actually.
8th.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I just noticed now. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So there's a lot of this deck's running a lot of stuff that I feel like has to be explained. But it's running so many 1-drops. Like it's man, how many is that? 12, 16, 20, 28 1-drops. Half the deck is 1-drops. That's wild.
How far off is this from, or do you know? I haven't really studied the list or anything, but I know this may or may not have been inspired by Spessie's
I think it's fairly close.
Burn list.
Yeah. I think it's fairly close. It's all like 4-ofs and stuff.
There's that enigmatic Inkcaster is what I was trying to think of earlier.
Which is an Uninkable 2 Emerald item. Exert, if you play 2 or more cards this turn, gain 1 lore, which when you've got half the deck is 1-drops, it's pretty easy to pull off.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Webby Shift line, which if you're playing this against a Sapphire deck, they're gonna hate you. They're gonna absolutely hate you. Because you're just going to follow them with ramp, and then you're also going to be like, okay, what if I followed you with ramp, but I also played like 3 characters this turn also, and then next turn, and also it's like it's not like you run out of gas either, because you've got Amethyst Chromacon, which makes both players draw a card, but you don't really care if they draw a card because you're going so fast that unless they're going to board wipe you. And even if they do, you can kind of recover pretty easily. You've also got Show Me More, which again, each player draws 3 cards, but you're going so fast that you kind of don't care, because you're just, even if they board wipe you, you're probably going to have like a bunch of cards in hand and you're just going to dump it all out because Webby helped you inked for you essentially, while you just got to play items and stuff. I do think it's been in a few lists and we haven't talked about it. I think this Scrooge Shush Agent is a little slept on. It's like pretty good card. And this is the uninkable 2-drop Emerald card. It's a 0/2 quest for 2, and when you play this character, you can draw a card and then choose and discard a card. But also, if the character's challenged, you return it to your hand. And the nice thing about that is it's not if it's banished in a challenge, it returns to you. It's like literally if you go to challenge it, it just goes to your hand. So I learned the hard way that Calhoun does not get lore off challenging Scrooge because it just goes away. And then Calhoun just kind of doesn't have anything to fight. So like you have to kind of play that to your advantage too, because if they're running like Chromacon and you challenge it, it means that you're taking something off the board, but you're not banishing it. It's going to their hand. So you can kind of play around Chromacon that way and like send like a dock into it just to scare it away. And then suddenly you have character advantage, and that's what you have to have when you're playing against Chromacon. So, but I still think Scrooge is like a really good card because it quests for 2 and you have to use some kind of removal against it, or you need to like either bounce it to their hand and then like discard it somehow. And it feels really bad to use like strength on it. Like it feels like a waste, but at the same time it's like, but it quests for 2 and I can't get rid of it. So you have to do it, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the Gathering Knowledge. Yeah. Yeah. And then you got the Gathering Knowledge. You've got Honey Marin. You got White Rose. So you have all this burn also. So you're just playing characters and going like, yep, gain a lore, draw more cards, gain some lore. Deck's probably really fun. I actually want to give it a shot because this seems like, as much as I like to think I'm like a very control type player, I always also just love decks where I'm just like, go fast, like end the game quick, you know.
So at the beginning of this call, I was debating so there was a Show Me More Enchanted on TCG for like $45, and I'm like, that's 40 is a pretty good price for Enchanteds, but I'm like, I just got a couple others that were cheaper than before, but not $45, and I was like, you know what, am I actually gonna run this deck like competitively? Should I just save my money because probably gonna buy stuff when Winter Spell comes out, right? So then I saved it. As you were talking about Show Me More, I went and just took a gander. It's out of my cart. The TCG goes, oh, your things it got moved down, right? Or whatever. I checked, $60. I was like, well,
it'll go back down.
It'll go down again.
It'll go back down, yeah. It is what I want because I love the Evil Queen, so I'm like,
really? I would have just bought it for you then. No, shoot. It was $45, man.
I do love going and buying cheap enchanteds. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I got Look at This Family, and I think Look at This Family I got when it was like 40, and I tried to Steel Song this set, and Look at This Family performed pretty well. Still not there. Still not there.
Last enchanted I bought was Headless Horseman because of course I need it. I do need to get a spooky site at some point, but I'm kind of waiting. Because it's not one that I'm like super playable. It's just like the art is so good. I want it.
I will say that is one that I got recently on a whim. I put in one of like a low bid on just like a what is it called? Or best offer on eBay. And I checked the other day and I actually won it. And I was like, oh shoot, now now I'm obligated to pay.
Now I gotta pay.
But I was like, oh well, at least it's like a good looking one.
Yeah. All right, well that's all of our lists. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any like notes or anything on, this is the first time we've ever done one of these. If you have any notes or anything on that, let us know. We'll definitely do some more of these in the future.
This was fun.
Yeah.
I liked looking at the list and discussing it.
Yeah.
I'm glad and not glad at the same time to see like a variety of lists, because this just means It's like,
Okay.
yeah, the meta is still like super wide, but yeah, I think week
No
after
Amber
week,
Steel
it's
though.
still no Ember Steel. Yeah, Ember Steel
Yeah.
got spookied away.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
but
think
still a strong showing for Amethyst Steel.
yeah, and then
3.
Ruby Amethyst made top 64, but
Mm.
did not make top 8. So clearly, like, uh, the Emerald Sapphire players put in work, and then Monstro kind of came out of nowhere, and then Amethyst Steel continues to just be like a really good deck that um, has some weak matchups, but at the same time, it's like if you play it right, you can kind of get around a lot of it. So I think Amethyst Steel rewards like the faithful to it. Like if you stick with it, you can find ways to get around stuff. But then having like Amethyst Emerald pop up, having dogs pop up, yeah, it's still fairly flat. And I feel like every week everybody's always like this is the best deck in the format. It's always changing. So
Yeah.
we'll see
Oh,
what
yeah.
January holds. I feel like you might have some interesting stuff in January. And then we just started getting whispers, or not whispers, excuse me. We started getting whisper spell spoilers.
Winter spell.
Winter spell spoilers, and so far I'm like, I don't know, but we'll see. Well, we'll see how impactful some of the stuff is.
Is that when we're gonna be able to paint the colors of the wind, or is that later this year?
I don't know. I am curious about that though. I'm like, would they make a colorless card in Lorcana? And if they did, it can't be that good. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Because it's like if
yeah.
it's so good, then it's like literally every deck will have it, and then suddenly the price is even higher because especially if it's a legendary song that is like can go in any deck and it's good. Oh my god, like rip everyone's wallet, right? Like it's gonna be bad.
You took my joke and made a custom card out of
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's like
That's
what else would you do with it? I don't know. It seems like a what if it's like colorless draw?
Ooh, help to draw disparity for
Like
but
what if
you
it
cannot
was
play it in amethyst. It's every color but
like,
amethyst.
But I struggle to think of like what. I guess you can make it uninkable. You can make it an uninkable friends that can be sung in any deck.
Interesting.
Would that break the game? I don't know. It might actually. It might break the game.
And then Toy Story will be set 13. I forget the name. Like something wild, Into Wild? No.
Yeah, it's like Into the Wilds or something like that.
Any dark horses you want to talk about? I think with top 16, it's kind of interesting. Like we didn't talk about one of the. We talked about a lot of decks. There's 2 I'm looking at. So the Brainiac version of the Amethyst Emerald and Blurple. I haven't been on ink decks in a while.
Me neither.
But I didn't realize it's just the Dumbo. Like, they have aggro, they have control. The name of this archetype is just Dumbo. With
just Dumbo. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks very similar. We do need to wrap up soon, but I think the top 16 looks very, other than the Brainiac deck, looks pretty similar to the top 8, which is like interesting. Although the Brainiac deck is unlike any of the other ones, but I firmly am in the camp that it's kind of a B tier, and it's very like if you're somebody who plays it a lot, like then you're gonna be good with it. But if not, then it's
definitely like a skill gap deck.
It's a specialist, like, this is what I like, and I'm playing it a lot, and I'm good, and I know how to play the matchups and stuff, but, yeah.
Cool, well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, as always. Yeah. As always. And thanks for watching. Leave your comments on how we can improve these, and if you want to see more of these going forward. And, yeah, boy, love you.